Squirrels, and if you're joining us, you've just seen the craziest season finale ever. But before we get to all things Royals, we got a deep dive with the cast and crew that make it happen. So first up, we've got Mr. Mark Schwahn. Hey there, Mark, I love your hi. The show's creator and executive producer. We have the one and only, the beautiful Elizabeth Hurley and Helena, the one we love to hate to love. I love her. We've got William Mosley, Prince Liam. I call you the moral center of it all. And we've got Alexandra Park, who plays the one and only Princess Eleanor. So Mark, this finale, blew me away. There's a lot going on. Cyrus is now the king. Simon is dead. The prince and princess may not really be the prince and princess. They might be illegitimate. How hard was it to put all of that into one episode?
I think before we answer that question, since we're the royal, we should probably have some champagne.
I like how you roll. Yes,
sure.
You do this.
You mentioned that Cyrus is now king, and I think you would approve of that.
I think Cyrus would definitely. Also,
because there's not many scenes this season that Cyrus was in where he wasn't there.
That is true. That's true. I like your style. Also, we're celebrating birthdays.
Happy season finale, everyone.
Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, so
yes, William just had a birthday. Alex just had a birthday. Elizabeth will be having a birthday soon, and so will I. So,
and also,
when is your birthday?
I'm the odd man out, November 25th. But let's go on record because your birthday has been noted as wrong. It's not July, right?
It is July.
Oh wow, he didn't want to reveal this one.
I know. It's everybody. It seems social media thinks that it's in June. It's actually in July.
There we go, on the record.
Thanks, Mark.
So let's cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Welcome. Congratulations, everyone. It's a wonderful season. Thank you for all your hard work, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. And here's to all the fans that have been watching and tuning in.
To the loyals.
We have to the rope. He's like, I'm going to have to. There we go. Mark, how hard was it for everybody? How hard was it to get all of that, you guys, in one episode? Because the arc is huge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the good news was we laid such a good foundation for the show. You know, there was a method to the madness, believe it or not. And I felt like our signpost was always leading to, unfortunately, the demise of the king. You know, the king was a beloved character in the show. And it's not a surprise. I mean, people like the good moral characters. They like the people who seem to keep their head amidst all the madness. So, but if you know, we have a little bit of a flavor of Hamlet that runs through our show. And as you know, the king dies in Hamlet. And for me, this story is about the kids. It's about brother and sister. It's about who they're going to be. And then ultimately, the adults in the world, are they as nefarious as they seem? Do they have a good streak? Are these events that happened to Robert and the king and Alistair, you know, will these events change these people?
We got to get to some of that because, Elizabeth, I'm dying to know what was in the letter Helena wrote to Captain Lacey.
Well, I mean, we hear the Queen dictate what we believe she's written.
Right.
But it was a very long letter, so there's an awful lot else being scurried down. And we don't even know if Lucius took the right one. So I think she genuinely loved Alistair Lacey, for sure. And I just don't know if he's dead.
Oh,
that's my question.
There were two gunshots.
But he's a secret SAS man doing somersaults and looping around.
We didn't see him dead. We didn't see
him
dead.
There was quite a pause, I noticed, when Lucius said, what did he say?
He said, give Henry our regard.
Which tipped off SAS officer.
Totally.
So I think he had time to do a forward roll and take out two pistols.
Okay, well, I think there's going on. Okay, so speaking of that, we got a little clip to show everybody. Let's talk about cliffhangers. That's what this show is all about. Because I was waiting all season for Cyrus to get a beat down. Did you
So was I.
Did you do it?
Was that satisfying, Mark?
Did you do your own stunts there, William?
But yeah, I mean, it's just punching the ground, actually. So it's kind of an amazing thing. We actually just put in I suppose it was like a pad, and I just punched the pad, and you just kind of cut back and forth, and it plays seamlessly. It's kind of amazing to watch. It's actually kind of like, I realized how brutal it looks.
It looks really brutal.
Yeah.
How long were you waiting for that? Because the episode before this, we see you get your butt kicked. This one, you know, your character's always been the moral compass, the controlled one, while everybody else cuts loose. You got to go for it.
Yeah, that's always fun. You know, I mean, I always kind of fight for those moments where the character becomes a little bit unhinged.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of loses himself. And I like the emotions. I like raw emotion. and that comes through. That's sort of like a very primal kind of response. And I think it leads up well to, obviously, when Liam goes in to see his father's deathbed.
Yeah,
it's a sad moment.
Alexandra and Elizabeth, what moments do you fight for? Because William was just saying he fights for those primal moments.
In terms of scenes that we look forward to, I think I would have to agree with Will. I mean, I love the really high energy, emotional, powerful scenes where either Eleanor's in a lot of trouble or she's been shot down, she's trying to get back up. I think, as opposed to the lighthearted party Eleanor, I much prefer the real side of her.
Eleanor gets to kick some butt too as well, so And speaking of, we got a little clip of Eleanor. Let's talk about the highs, literally, and lows of being a princess. Pun intended. Of being a princess.
There are a lot of highs.
I was asked to take control of a manned aircraft. I was
going nuts over, especially on social media, so we pulled up a few tweets. Okay, so this is from Allison. Why would Eleanor believe a stranger in a hoodie and not her mother who claims he committed suicide? Here's another one I like from Tricia. I think the hooded guy is actually Robert. He got work done to change his face. Are any of these theories true?
Wow.
I like these theories.
I think that Eleanor is more apt to believe a stranger in a hoodie than she is her mother.
Her mom's pretty
Because
dubious.
her mother has been deceptive and controlling and nefarious, and they have not seen eye to eye. And I think it's very interesting, that relationship, because, our demographic is mostly female.
Yeah.
And I always say, well, this will do one of two things. Either our audience will say, my mother is just like that, or they'll say, at least my mom's not that bad.
Yeah.
So, Tom Christian played Boone, and he did a great job, and I think the fans just like seeing Jasper and Eleanor back together.
Let's talk about that. Okay, Jasper and Eleanor, they have an unusual relationship, shall we say? How do you describe it? Is it true? Is it true love, or do you think she despises him for sleeping with her mother?
I don't think I'd go with either of those options for Jasper and Eleanor. I don't know that it's true love yet, or if it ever will be, but I don't think she despises him either. I think Eleanor and Jasper, they're two very skilled manipulators, and there's something that she sees in him that is challenging, but also the aspect of, he's controlling her. She likes it in a way, and I think she's pretty conflicted with how she feels, but it's not love or hate at all yet.
Talk to me about the soundtrack to their relationship, because you and Mark were saying earlier, who's the artist?
Well, I think we'd have to go with Hozier, because, he's just so damn...
Take Me to the Church?
No, not that one. Maybe
Because that one might be the one that they kind of...
But if you listen to the actual lyrics of that song, it's not as take me, it's not literally,
No, I know, it's like, isn't it? It's really kind of an intense meaning.
It is,
right?
really intense.
So it's, it could, maybe that one, that could be the theme
There we
song.
go. Well, what would be the
They
theme
need
song?
to go to church, so...
They definitely need to go to
What
church.
about Ophelia and Liam? What would be their theme song?
Ophelia and Liam, Tainted Love. Probably.
So, do you think if they weren't, or he wasn't royal, they would have a shot at making it true love?
That's a good question. Actually, I think what Ophelia sees in Liam is who he is and not what he is. And I think, Liam has that same connection with her, but his responsibilities almost outweigh his feelings and his personal relationships to people. And when you are in a service capacity like the royals are, like we all are, that almost comes first, especially with Helena. She makes sacrifices throughout.
Yeah.
So I think probably in a different world they might have made it. And they still might. Who knows?
At what point did you all get the script from Mark, and were you as surprised as we, the viewers, were with all the twists and the turns, and oh my God, that happened?
We don't get them very far in the plot.
So with that, Mark?
It was like the night before.
We had the first episode of the pilot, obviously, before we all chose to sign on. And I think we all chose pretty fast, but we wanted to sign on into the bonus. But then as we go along, of course, TV, the scripted TV, you don't really know what's happening.
Right.
So, in a way, it's you have to very much play the moment, because you can't really put much else into it, because we don't know what's happening. So, it's actually a very good exercise in just making every scene you do real, and make it that scene work. And then, who knows, I might...
That's all you have.
Yeah, they didn't... I mean, when we started shooting, these guys obviously didn't know they were going to turn out to be illegitimate. He knew.
Okay.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
Speaking of that, we got a little wrap-up, a little mashup here to check out. Let's check this out, you guys. Just Coke and caviar, darling.
Yeah. And other stuff in that clip.
Talk to me. Is it more fun to play Eleanor when she's totally unhinged, or towards the end of the season when we see her coming together for the fam?
Is it more fun? Oh, I mean, it's so much fun to play her when she's just losing it. She's spray painting her bedroom, or she's yelling abusive things at her uncle and storming around. It's so much fun. I like jump up and down and have to create energy to get to how Eleanor's feeling. But I also like when, it's equal. It's so much fun to play every color of Eleanor. I love that she tries to, like, take control and solve all the problems. I think there's no particular bit that's the most fun.
Where do all of you go when you've got those? Ooh, Elizabeth, that stare is deep.
Sorry.
I love it. I love it. Where do all of you go? That leads to my next question. You channel those angry parts, that stare.
Sorry, it's just my face.
I love it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Where do you go to channel that? Where do you guys go to channel that rage?
In what's that?
That rage. The rage, when Eleanor's becoming unhinged, when Liam's fighting, when Helena's not messing around.
Well, no acting required from any of us.
No.
This is a lovely release for all of us, I think.
Okay, so we've got
Therapy.
Liam. Liam is the moral compass of the show. I want to take a look at your character and how you flipped it up towards the end.